This is the Transformers Studio Series from the movie The Last Knight Deluxe Class Hot Rod or Hot Rod. The figure looks fantastic in robot mode and I think equally as amazing in alt mode, in his Lamborghini alt mode. It's a very promising figure, but I have a bunch of comments about this figure that can make or break this figure's rating for me. I'll reserve my final comments at the end of the video. As always, let's take a closer look at the details of this figure. So in robot mode, the figure looks amazing. He is sporting a lot of movie accurate details head to toe. You've got some really nice bright orange paint right here, as we've seen him in the movie, some highlights right here underneath his chest. That head sculpt looking absolutely amazing as well. It's very accurate to how we saw him in the movie, or as accurate as can be. He has several kibble here and there. Wheel, feet, forearms, the wings, which are really the doors, windows of the car, but they're all forgivable. I love how much detail they've put into crafting and designing the sculpt of this figure. And like I said, every inch, every millimeter has detail, has sculpted in detail. There's hardly any gaps. It is a wonderful looking, fantastic, very movie accurate looking robot mode. And I'm very pleased with it. Okay, articulation for the figure. He's got a ball jointed neck. He's got a waist swivel. He's got a ball jointed shoulder, also a hinge shoulder because of transformation. The biceps are on swivels. You got a hinge elbow and a swivel wrist. The hips, legs are on ball joints, forward and backward, in and out. You got a thigh swivel. The knees can hinge actually. If you fold the wheels a little bit further, they can actually do a 90-degree bend. The feet, they have a hinge right here because of transformation, and they are on ball joints, which actually serve as rocker tilts. The figure also comes with one accessory. This is his time gun, which he used in the movie I Stopped the Time. Why couldn't he have used it more often so they could have defeated the Decepticons and everyone they were trying to shoot at in the movie? So yeah, even the gun, fantastic details. I love this all-spark blue paint that they've put on it. It feels like it's really glowing. It's about to stop time. And for some comparisons, here are a bunch of other movie figures that I'd like to show off. Let's begin with the, I guess this was the Walmart exclusive or store exclusive. I think it was Walmart. Deluxe Class, The Last Knight Hot Rod. Big thanks to my buddy John for loaning me this figure. I don't have this figure anymore. I bought it twice. I sold both of them. And I'm just lucky he still had his figure. So he loaned it to me. Big thanks to my buddy John for this. And you can clearly see the difference in terms of aesthetic. Obviously, this was using the lockdown mold. Hasbro wanted to go cheap. They just redesigned it. Even the head sculpt, this is more accurate. You can clearly see the details. This one definitely outweighs this one by a mile in terms of detail, in terms of sculpt, in terms of accuracy, definitely. Okay, we'll get to those two in a little while. Here he is with the Bumblebee movie, Cybertronian Bumblebee. So I guess the scale is correct. They actually made him shorter so that he would scale better with Bumblebee, because this guy obviously will not scale properly. And again, just for posterity's sake and for just a reference with the history of Transformers figures from Hasbro, this is the original Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Class Bumblebee. And you can see how far Deluxes have gone. This is a Deluxe Class, this is a Deluxe Class, this is a Deluxe Class, and this is a Deluxe Class way back when. I think 2009. Okay, let's go back to these two figures. One thing the designers forgot to mention when they were touting this figure as perhaps going to be the figure of the year, they had forgotten to mention how cheap they've gone with plastic quality and selection for figures. It's a very, very light figure, at least compared to this figure. and you can hear it. It's a very shallow thud. It even feels rubbery if you hit it, compared to something like this, which was done a couple years, I don't know, several years ago. Look how solid the plastic is on these older figures. He doesn't have a weapon, so I can't really compare, but look how solid. You can hear it. Did I just damage my buddy's figure? No, I didn't. Okay, but this one, it feels very, very light and flimsy. And let me just bring in a figure that you've probably seen me do in reviews. This is the Bumblebee movie Voyager class Optimus Prime. Now this is a KO. It's a knockoff figure. That's hence the paint is a lot better. And I can tell you this, the plastic they used for this KO figure feels a lot more premium than this figure. The figure's plastic feels just so much cheaper than compared to the original release and a knockoff figure. I don't understand what's going on. And they're rationalizing that because they had to save on the plastic because there was so much money going into the engineering, the detailing, the sculpting, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right. But you've jacked up the prices tremendously because figures now, deluxe class figures now are going for $37, $38 out here in Manila. These are Asian prices. They go for $35 to $37. That's crazy. I know. In the US, I think it's going for what, $25 to $30. But here we have to put up with $37, $38. Secondary market sellers are going for $40, $45. So I don't know where the money is going. Is design so expensive now? They've never heard of economies of scale. I mean, as a toy, I still think this is the better figure. As a toy, if you just want a hot rod to play around with, transform easily, and enjoy the transformation, I think this is still the better one. You can drop this figure and it's probably not going to break or split into pieces. This figure, though, albeit it is a fantastic looking display piece, great to pose with, transformation can be a pain, which I will get to in a little while. Plastic quality just sucks. I'm sorry. This is beyond insulting. This is knockoff, below knockoff quality type of soft, light plastic. Several pieces are flying off during transformation. But hey, compromises have to be made, and I guess Hasbro is deciding, do you want accuracy? You want fantastic detail? Well, you're just gonna have to accept the low quality products, the low quality of these products, because you want accuracy and fantastic detail. Okay, it could be a valid point, but... And now for the dreaded transformation, okay? This one's a doozy, so hold on to your seats. I will do my best to show it off as best as I can and as clear as possible. So, put the weapon off to the side. Let's begin with the feet, okay? So the feet, you want to rotate like this inside. You want to rotate that thigh like this. Fold down this wheel. It's a very tight hinge. Okay. And then you want to open up the spoiler, open up the exhausts. These pieces right here, they love to pop off. So I do apologize if they come undone during the transformation demonstration, but that's just the way they are, okay? Now there's this inner hinge right here. You want to just fold it in. It's very tight, okay? Okay. And then you want to line up the under or the soles of the feet right here onto the fender of the car. Just line it up like that, and you should be good. And then this one is going to close in like that and form the exhaust. Okay, do the same on the other side. Just fold this piece right there. Very tight. Okay. Fold it all the way so that the feet are flush onto the fender. Fold that down. And then you can go ahead and combine the leg pieces. Okay. That was the easy part. Okay. Now the upper torso and arms. You have to detach this piece right here. Go ahead and unfold that midsection, that ab midsection. Fold out these pieces right here. And then you got to do this simultaneously as you open the chest, and then you fold up, man, the clearances on this figure. Fold that up. You have to do this simultaneously. You're going to fold up that entire chest assembly so that the head clears. Now, I think it's best if you turn the head off to the side, either left or right. I'd like to do it on his right because his chin and his nose are just way too extended. They will scrape the floor when you roll him in car mode. Okay, fold like this, complete, and fold the, I guess this is the trunk of the car since the engine is right back here. Okay, all right. Now, before you continue further, you want to rotate this waist piece right here. And there's not enough clearance from the back, so you have to squeeze that in. And I cringe every time I do that. I feel like I'm going to break it. So, okay. And then, right here, this piece right here. Wait, open up these door panels. You're going to have to find a way to rotate this entire section right here. So, best of luck doing that. Fold these out. Clearances are very, very tight. You gotta just squeeze it out like that. Okay, and then you can go ahead and connect it to the rear part of the car or the legs. And then the doors, you're going to just lock into place like this. Okay, and now the arms or the shoulders, arms, the whole assembly. Okay, you want to straighten it out, fold it up like this, straighten it out, fold it down like this, fold it down like this. You'll know you've done it properly if the shoulders are kind of like hugging the centerpiece. So they should fit nicely like that, just like that. And then you can tab in the fists onto the rear section of the car. You can go ahead and tab the doors onto the forearms. Do the same on the other side. Tab right here. Tab. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now all that's left is really to fold these front wheel and fender assembly like that. So you notice I am folding pieces gingerly because they just might snap off. That's how I feel. They feel like they're soft enough, they're light enough, the plastic is of low quality that you will shear it off or snap it off if you do it too much. Oh, okay, I forgot to mention, there is a teeny tiny peg right there that's gonna peg into that peg hole. Just like that. Just raise up the spoiler, tab everything in, finish off. And there is Hot Rod in his Lamborghini. Is it the Centenario? Alt mode. So if you do everything properly, he will roll smoothly, or as smooth as can be. My review station is uneven, so that's why he's scraping, but he should roll very nicely. Actually not as nice as I want it to be, but he does roll. Okay, the gun, there is a peg on one side. You can peg it right there, or on the other side as well if you want to. I think it looks better right here. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, there was a ton of space right here. They couldn't engineer something like that. Maybe unfold here so it would flatten out. Too much to ask, I suppose, from Hasbro. But yeah, it's a great looking alt mode. Incredible looking alt mode. Very, very accurate, but It feels very light. You can clearly see a lot of the gaps all around right there. Lots of gaps happening here. They couldn't fill that in because, I don't know, lack of budget. But yeah, there you go. And here he is with the original, the Last Night Deluxe class hot rod. Obviously, this one is the more accurate one. You can clearly see in the details, this is more of the lockdown alt mode. So yeah, but he's pretty small. I thought they would be almost the same size in alt mode, honestly, because of the amount of extra kibble and car parts that this guy had. So yeah, he's a little shorter. Yeah, but definitely more accurate. Smooth roll, kind of smooth roll. And just to give you a little bit more perspective, here he is with Deluxe Class Bumblebee Movie RC. So I guess they would scale properly. And here is the Power of the Primes Legends Class Beachcomber. Look at that. Oh, let's not even talk about plastic quality. This one is far superior to the plastic quality right here. And so some final thoughts on this new Studio Series Deluxe Class, The Last Night Hot Rod. So after being wowed with their Studio Series Galvatron and being immensely impressed with their leader class, The Fallen, this figure, coming into the review, I had extremely high expectations for this figure. I honestly thought this would be a recipient of my legendary 11 out of 10, but after just coming from those two figures, Galvatron and The Fallen, this figure is a huge disappointment. The robot mode and the alt mode are fantastic looking modes. They are very accurate to the movie. However, the poor quality plastic that is below KO standards or knockoff standards, and the incredibly tedious transformation really sucks out the fun out of this figure, and it will bring down my rating to a 6 out of 10. Both robot modes and alt modes can get 10s, but the engineering and quality will get 5, and maybe overall experience is probably a 4, but I don't want to give it too low of a grade, so I think 6 out of 10 is fair. The only way I can recommend this figure is if you are the type of collector who just leaves stuff on the shelf. If you love to just display your figures, get them from one mode to the other, you don't really play around with them, sure, this is a very accurate, highly detailed, very close to how he looked like on the movie kind of figure. And if you like these intricate, very involved transformation, like you're doing a Rubik's Cube every time you transform the figure, then fine. This is an absolute perfect figure for you. But if you want a just really fun toy to play with and you don't really care about accuracy, I suggest you still stick with the original, the Last Night figure. This was a really fun toy. You can bring this around anywhere with you in the car. You can do it in the office. If you have some downtime, you just need a stress reliever. You just need to, you know, cool off. This is a nice toy. This is a nice figure to just transform, get into one mode to the other. And this one is gonna just be very stressful doing so. I'm a little torn. I don't want to just bash this figure. Just, you know, people might think I'm just bashing it for the heck of bashing it. No, I'm not. I really had very high expectations for this figure, and I really wanted to praise it and give it an 11, but I just can't. And the same I mean, this figure is not perfect, but it's a lot more fun than this figure. So I'm gonna leave it to you guys. If you're really into this accuracy, highly detailed stuff that you just want to display on your shelf, sure, the new Studio Series Hot Rod is for you. If you're into just playing with your Transformers, just turning them into car mode and robot mode several times, you know, just to relieve stress, this is the one for you. If you're the avid fan of Hot Rod, I suggest you pick up both. You'll have one to display and one to just kick around with. I'm sorry for being honest. That's just how I see this figure. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this new Studio Series Deluxe Class Hot Rod from the movie Transformers: The Last Night. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.